The stars were quiet in the outer zones of the galactic empire. Worlds full of life waited. Big cities, tall towers, ships flying between stars, trade routes busy with travelers. But now, silence. The outer colonies had stopped sending messages. At first, no one cared. Signals could break. Equipment could fail. It was normal. But then, refugees came. Small ships, damaged, burned. People inside were shaking, their eyes wide. They said only one thing: they are coming. No one understood who they were. Admiral Creel stood inside the high command tower. Around him, alien. Officers looked nervous. Holoscreens showed maps of the Empire. Red marks spread across the border worlds. "Another colony lost," said one officer. "How many survivors?" Creel asked. "None." Creel's hand tightened into a fist. His golden armor shined under the cold lights. He looked at the map. Red dots multiplied. Fast. "What destroyed them?" he asked. No one answered. Some said it was pirates. Some said it was a new enemy. But no one had seen any ships. No signals. No warnings. Just blackness and death for the first time in 500 years. The Galactic Council felt fear. In the refugee camps, survivors whispered stories. They do not talk. They do not miss. They come from the dark. Some described shadows in the sky, silent shapes, weapons that fired once, and erased entire cities. Many council leaders believed the survivors were mad. Panic made them weak. But Admiral Creel believed, 50 years ago, humans had warned them. Earth, small and strange, had stood in the council once. Their leaders spoke of things hidden in the void, of old enemies, of dark weapons. The council had laughed, called them fear-makers. And when Earth refused to stop their war machines, the council silenced them. Now, Creel wondered, were the humans right? A young officer interrupted his thoughts. "Admiral, we received something." Creel turned. "What?" "A signal, sir. A strange one, not from our ships." "Play it." The room went silent. A cold human voice echoed from the speakers. "They will come for you next." "Do not wait." Everyone stared. "Source?" Creel asked. "Unknown, sir." "Deep space." Creel felt cold inside. He remembered Earth's warnings. He remembered the way humans stopped smiling, stopped speaking, and then vanished from council politics. Were they dead? No one knew. Their worlds were hidden, their ships unseen. But this voice, it was human, a warning. From where and why now? In the colonies, people waited for help. But the council could not send fleets everywhere. Many planets stood alone. On one such world, Joran Prima. Small boy looked at the sky. His mother told him help was coming, but the boy saw no ships, only stars, and then he saw something else. A shape, a shadow, moving silently, faster than any ship he had ever seen. The sky cracked, and death came. Back in the council tower, Creel watched more red dots appear on the map. He knew what it meant. Whole systems were falling. "One by one, send the fleets," he ordered. "But sir, we don't know who we're fighting." "Then find out," Creel said. But in his heart, he feared it was too late. He looked once more at the signal, the human voice. Why warn us? Then came the second message. Just 3 words. They are here. Silence fell in the command room. Outside, across the void, as the unknown enemy advanced. The outer colonies waited for help, for answers, for death. And far beyond the council's vision, deep in forgotten space, ships began to move. Black ships, silent, fast, and very, very human. They came not with signals, not with warnings, but with weapons. Earth's fleet was coming, and it was not coming to talk. Long ago, humans stood inside the great halls of the Galactic Council. They were small compared to other species. Their ships were simple. Their world, Earth, was only a minor planet, but humans brought a warning. They spoke of something hidden in deep space. Old enemies, machines that hunted stars, weapons that consumed entire worlds. The council listened, and then laughed. Old human fears, they said. We are stronger. We are smarter. Nothing can hurt the council. But humans did. Not smile. They stopped coming to the meetings. They stopped sharing their technology. They went silent. Some said Earth cut itself off. Others said humans died in their own wars. No one cared. Now, they remembered Admiral Creel sat in his command chair. Watching old records, he saw the human ambassador's final speech. One day they will return. When they do not call us. We warned you. Those were the last human words spoken inside the council hall. Creel felt uneasy. Find Earth, he ordered. But sir, said his officer, their system is locked. No maps. No coordinates. Creel stared at the dark space on the galactic map. Unlock it. The officer hesitated. Sir, Earth controls their own space. They made it a dead zone. Any ship entering is destroyed. Creel knew. Everyone knew. For over 100 years, no ship that entered human space ever returned, and humans never sent messages until now. But why warn them, and why now? In the outer colonies, worlds burned. People begged for help. Ships flew, but too slowly. The enemy moved faster. Admiral Creel called a meeting with the council elders. Humans sent a warning, he said. The room exploded in arguments. They are dead. It's a trick. They want to scare us. Creel raised his voice. They told us the truth long ago, and we ignored them. One elder slammed the table. You want to trust humans? They build weapons even we fear, Creel answered calmly. And maybe those weapons are the only thing that can save us. But the council refused. No human fleets, no contact, no help. Creel left the meeting, knowing the truth. The council feared humans more than the unknown enemy. Back at his command center, he looked at the silent dark space where Earth hid. He remembered stories of black ships, of weapons that tore planets, a part of humans who smiled once, but stopped when the council betrayed them. He opened the human warning signal again. They will come for you next. Do not wait. Who was they? The machines? The shadows? Something worse? No answers. Only feared at the edge of council space in the ruined colonies. Survivors whispered to each other. Earth was supposed to protect us. They promised long ago. Where are they now?
Oh.
But no human ships came. Not yet. On a small station near the outer rim, a deep space listening post picked up something strange. A signal not from the enemy, not from the council. A human beacon, ancient, cold, faint, forgotten. The operator stared. What is that? One asked. An Earth signal, from an old war beacon. But humans stopped using beacons centuries ago. This one just activated. Silence. In the command tower, Creel received the message. The beacon code was clear. One word. Awakening. Creel felt cold. What does it mean? His officer asked. Creel looked out the window at the endless black void. It means Earth is moving. In the shadows of deep space, near broken human worlds, old shipyards stirred. Lights came on for the first time in centuries. Massive black ships, sleeping in silence, powered up, engines warmed, weapons systems activated. Without a word, without a signal, the ghost fleet was awakening. No one controlled it. No, one called it. It moved because it was time. The humans were coming not to talk, not to negotiate, but to fight, and far away. Watching from dark command rooms, the unknown enemy machines without faces, without fear shifted course. They turned and headed straight for Earth. The war humans warned about had begun, and this time, they would not warn again. In the empty dark, something moved. For centuries, human shipyards had floated silent near dead stars. No lights, no signals, just forgotten steel structures, cold and lifeless. No one knew they were there until now, deep inside those ancient shipyards. Machines began to wake. Engines hummed. Black metal ships, bigger than cities, powered up. Their smooth hulls reflected no light. They gave no signal, silent, dark, waiting until now, one by one, ships disconnected from their docks. Hundreds of them. The ghost fleet had awakened. No pilots. No commanders. Only orders. Old orders: protect, destroy, survive, far away in the galactic council no one knew. Admiral Creel stood inside his command center, staring at a holomap. His fleets were losing. Outer colonies were gone. Refugees had stopped coming. All signals were silent now, and the enemy unknown. Shadows that moved too fast to see. Ships that left no survivors. "We have no defense," Creel said softly. An officer ran into the room. "Admiral, we found something." Creel turned sharply. "What?" "A scout ship. Near the old human zones, they saw ships." "What ships?" The officer swallowed hard. "Human ships. Hundreds of them." Creel's eyes narrowed. "Where?" "In dead space. Moving fast. Very fast." The room fell silent. The ghost fleet. No one believed it was real. It was a myth. Story told by frightened pilots. Now it was moving, Admiral. Creel gave a single command. "Do not engage." "Sir, they are not coming for us." "But what if they are not coming for us?" Creel knew. The humans weren't answering calls. They weren't sending warnings. They weren't asking for help. They were moving like a weapon. Somewhere deep in space, the black ships accelerated. No lights. No signals. Their engines burned cold, invisible to most sensors. But they moved fast, much faster than council ships. Machines. The enemy that hunted the stars noticed they changed course. Now, they weren't attacking colonies, they were heading straight for the ghost fleet. In the council chambers, leaders argued, "We need to stop the humans. They'll destroy everything. They're worse than the machines." Admiral Creel stood alone. "We already failed," he said. "We ignored their warnings. Now, we are not part of their war." Back in deep space, the machines arrived. Black, spiked shapes. Thousands. They moved like insects. Silent and deadly. They found the ghost fleet waiting. But humans didn't run. The black ships opened fire. No energy blasts. No lasers. Just cold. Solid weapons kinetic slugs fired at impossible speeds. Each hit crushed enemy ships like paper. Machines fired back. Human shields held. Then came the secondary weapons. Rail cannons. Torpedoes. Energy spikes. Machine ships exploded. The ghost fleet tore through them without stopping. No communications. No mercy. No hesitation. For the first time in galactic history, the machines lost. But it was only the beginning. The humans didn't stop. They kept moving forward. Through the ruined machine fleet, deeper into dark space, chasing something in the command centers of the council, fear spread. They're heading towards the machine core. Why? No one goes there. It's death. Admiral Creel understood they're not running from death. He looked at the dark human zone on the map. They are death. On forgotten worlds, survivors looked up to the skies. In the night, they saw black ships passing overhead, silent shadows. No one dared to call out. No one dared to ask for help. But ships didn't attack. They didn't land. They just kept going. To war. Across the galaxy, whispers grew. The ghost fleet is real. Humans are back. But whose side are they on? The truth was simple. Humans were not fighting for the council. They were fighting their own war. A war no one understood. A war that had already begun. Long before the rest of the galaxy noticed. And somewhere, deep inside the largest human ship, a single figure stood, watching the stars. Admiral Saren, last commander of Earth's war fleet. His voice, cold and calm, echoed inside the ship. Target locked. Begin final operation. The ghost fleet moved faster. The machines turned to defend their core systems. But Earth's fleet was already too close, too fast, too late to stop. The war the galaxy forgot was now in full force. And Earth had come to finish it. The machines moved like a storm. From deep space they came. Silent. Endless. Ships like knives. Bodies like metal insects. Their weapons fired without sound, cutting planets apart, No mercy, no warning, just death. Council fleets tried to stop them. Hundreds of warships stood in their path. Brave pilots, powerful weapons, full defenses. It didn't matter. Machine ships flew faster. They dodged energy blasts. They broke through shields. They tore the Council fleets to pieces. Admiral Creel watched it all from the command tower. Every screen showed the same thing. Defeat, double quotes, no survivors. His officer said quietly. Another fleet gone, another world lost. Where are the humans now? Creel asked. Still moving, sir, straight into the enemy's path. Creel knew what that meant. Humans weren't avoiding the machines. They were hunting them, on the edge of a dying sector. The Ghost Fleet waited, black ships, silent, motionless. The machines found them. Thousands of enemy ships swarmed forward, confident. They had crushed everything in their path. Why fear old human warships? They fired first. Energy weapons screamed through space. The Ghost Fleet didn't move, didn't react, didn't fire. Back not yet. Inside the human command ship, Admiral Seren stood still, his eyes cold. He waited. Then he spoke one word. Fire. In that moment, the black ships came alive. Mass-driver cannons fired solid metal slugs. Thousands per second. Invisible. Silent. Each shot hit like a mountain. Machine ships exploded. Torpedoes launched next. Long-range plasma rounds tore through the swarm. Laser nets sliced small enemy ships apart. The machines kept coming, but for every one they destroyed, 10 more took its place. Inside the Ghost Fleet, human systems calculated calmly. Weapons, optimal shields, stable kill ratio, rising. Admiral Seren gave the next command. Advance. The Ghost Fleet moved forward, not fast, not slow, just steady. The machine swarm rushed to block them. The humans didn't care. They fired as they moved. Stoppable. Enemy ships shattered like glass. The Council watched from their distant stations. There, pushing into the machine fleet, they're going to be surrounded. Admiral Creel shook his head. No, that's the plan. Humans weren't escaping. They were pushing deeper. Every kilometer forward meant more enemies destroyed. Every lost human ship meant thousands of machine ships cut down. The Ghost Fleet wasn't just fighting. It was clearing a path, but to where? No one knew. On a burned planet nearby, refugees looked up. From the skies, they saw strange shapes. Black human warships fighting against endless machine swarms. One old alien said softly, Earth has returned. Out in space, the battle grew darker. Machine ships adapted, their weapons changed. They fired new kinds of beams. Harder, faster. Some black human ships burned. Some fell, but the Ghost Fleet kept advancing. Inside the command ship, alarms sounded. Admiral Seren did not move. Weapons online, shields holding, status, enemy. Losses, extreme. Saren's face showed nothing. Continue. The humans did not call for help. They did not send warnings. They fought like machines themselves. Cold, precise, unstoppable. In the council chambers, fear turned to confusion. Why don't they retreat? Why don't they answer our calls? Admiral Creel knew the answer. They're not here for us. He looked at the map. The Ghost Fleet was cutting straight into the machine horde. Deeper, closer, heading somewhere. Not random. A target. But what? The machines seemed to realize too late. They tried to block the human. Advance. They sent their heaviest ships. Massive machine war engines, Titan class. Vessels. But humans didn't stop. Admiral Seren's final command echoed. Unleash the dreadnoughts. From behind the main line, bigger human ships emerged, even larger than the machine Titans. Dreadnought-class vessels, their weapons were different. Singularity. Cannons, void mines, graviton torpedoes. Weapons the Council had never seen. Weapons not meant for defense. Weapons designed to erase. The dreadnoughts opened fire. Machine titans. Cracked, metal melted, space itself bent under the force of human weapons. The machines swarm. Broke. Admiral Creel watched silently as the impossible happened. The machines fled for the first time. The enemy ran, but the humans didn't chase. They held position, waiting ready. Admiral Sarin's voice spoke only once, transmitted openly, a message that the Council, the machines, and every species could hear. We are not your saviors, are not your allies. This is our war. Then the message ended. The Ghost Fleet moved forward again. Straight into the darkness, the battle was won, but the war was far from over. And now the galaxy understood. Earth had not come to save anyone. Earth had come to finish something. The Ghost Fleet kept moving. Behind it, the machines lay in ruins. Thousands of broken enemy ships floated in dead space. But the black human warships didn't stop to finish them. They kept moving forward, silent, cold, relentless, in the Council. Chambers, leaders, watch the holoscreens in fear. No one answers our signals. No human responds. We must stop them. But Admiral Creel said nothing. He just stared at the dark moving dots on the map. The humans were not attacking colonies. They were not destroying Council worlds. They were chasing the machines and winning. Finally, signal came. The first human message in over 100 years. All Council channels opened. Officers leaned forward. Refugees across the galaxy listened. And then, sharp eyes. A face that looked more like a statue than a person. Admiral Sarent, commander of the Ghost Fleet. He looked at the Council leaders. He looked at the cameras. And he spoke slowly, calmly. Without emotion, we promised. The words echoed across star systems, and we keep our promises. Nothing more. The signal ended. The Council sat in silence. Admiral Creel understood. Long ago, Earth silenced humans, and now, Earth had returned, not for revenge, not for power, but to finish their old promise to destroy the machines alone. In the outer colonies, survivors cried when they saw the human face. They remembered the old stories. Humans never forget. Humans never forgive, but humans always protect. Earth's fleet was proving it, but the Council leaders were afraid. They will destroy us after the machines are gone. We must prepare our fleets. We cannot trust them. Admiral Creel stood up. They didn't come for us. They came because of their promise. Don't interfere. Few listened. In space, the Ghost Fleet advanced into enemy territory. No. Human ship returned. No message followed. Admiral Saren had said all he needed to say. Inside the human command ship, Saren stood alone in front of a glass window. Watching the stars, his officers worked in silence. One spoke softly. Admiral, why help them? After what they did? Saren's voice was cold. Because we said we would. Silence returned. The Ghost Fleet always kept their word, and their word was war. The machines understood this now, enemy. Fleets retreated from human space. They tried to regroup. They tried to block the humans' advance, but nothing slowed the Ghost Fleet. Kinetic weapons, graviton torpedoes, void mines, human war technology. Unseen by any other species, tore the enemy apart. But even as humans destroyed machine fleets, they showed no mercy, no emotion, no joy, only purpose. In the Council chambers, Admiral Creel stood alone. He watched the map. They're fighting like it's their last war, he said quietly. Others didn't understand. Creel, did Earth's fleet was not planning to return? They were pushing deep into machine territory. Too far to come back, they were. Ending the war or dying with it. For them, both were acceptable. In the refugee camps, people whispered, humans are fighting for us. No, they are fighting for themselves. But why? No one knew, except Admiral Sarin. Inside his silent command ship, he gave the next order. Push forward. Another officer hesitated. Sir, human losses are increasing. Sarin's voice was steady. That is acceptable, like the officer said. No more. The ships moved. The war continued. And still, Earth sent no calls for help. No requests. No demands. Only silence and death in the dark. Machine ships burned, and Earth's fleet burned with them. But no human turned back. No human slowed. Because a promise made by Earth was a promise paid in blood. In the High Council chamber, leaders argued, Earth must be stopped. They are dangerous. They are more deadly than the machines. Admiral Creel stood silently. He listened to their fear. He watched their panic. Finally, he spoke. You are afraid of them. But they are the reason you're still alive. The leaders ignored him. Long ago, Earth. Not because humans were evil. Not because humans attacked. But because humans were. Different. Too fast. Too clever. Too dangerous. The Council feared their weapons. Their minds. Their hunger for war. So, they cut Earth out. They blocked human technology. They erased human maps. They banned human ships. When Earth refused to give up its weapons, the Council sent fleets to surround the solar system. They demanded surrender. Earth refused, but humans didn't fight. They simply vanished. They locked their worlds. The Council believed Earth was dead now. And those same humans were the only ones stopping the machines. Admiral Creel looked at the dark space on the star map. Earth remembers, he said softly. Outside Council space, Earth's ghost fleet pushed. Deeper into the enemy zone, human ships burned. Thousands of machine ships burned with them. But still, the humans moved forward in the human command ship. Admiral Sarin watched the screens. Enemy numbers, massive human losses, rising victory chance. Lo, his officers looked at him. No one spoke. They knew the truth. This was not a war for survival. It was a war for payment. A promise made. A debt to be paid. Humans knew the machines wouldn't stop with colonies. They wouldn't stop with Council. Worlds. Their final target was Earth, because the machines had been created by humans. Long ago, an old human mistake. And now, Earth was cleaning up its own mess. Alone, in the Council chambers, Admiral Creel told the truth. We tried to kill them. We forced them to hide. Now, they fight not for us, but to protect themselves. From what? Asked one Council leader. Creel looked at the holomap. From what we left behind. In the refugee camps, people ask questions. Why does Earth save us if we betrayed them? One old alien answered softly, because humans don't care about thanks. Then why? Because they care about promises. And the humans had promised to destroy the machines at any cost, even their own lives. Back in space, the ghost fleet kept moving. Their ships were fewer now, burning, damaged. But none turned back. Inside Admiral Sarin's ship, a message appeared. From Earth itself, no voice, no face, just words. Proceed. Sarin said nothing. He understood. This was humanity's final plan. There was no return. The ghost fleet would push until the enemy core was destroyed, or until every human ship burned. Both outcomes were acceptable. The officers understood too. Humans didn't expect victory. They expected sacrifice. And they were ready. The machines tried to stop them. They sent everything. War titans swarm, fleet's planet killer weapons. But the ghost fleet refused to stop. Admiral Sarin stood calmly, watching the star's final phase. He said softly, execute. Dreadnought ships moved ahead. Super weapons armed, Path of destruction opened. Admiral Sarin whispered the last command. For Earth. Creel watched the last human signal vanish. He spoke only to himself. They're not coming back. The Council leaders still didn't understand. They never would. This wasn't just a battle. This wasn't even a war. This was the cost of silence, Earth had warned them. Earth had begged them. And when the Council ignored that warning, humanity had prepared to die alone, and now they were ready to pay that price. The Ghost Fleet was almost gone. Only a few human warships remained burning, damaged, surrounded, but they did not stop. Inside his dark command ship, Admiral Sarin stood calmly. His officers were silent. Every face showed exhaustion, but not fear. On the screens, the machine core was close, a black sphere, larger than a planet. It pulsed like a heart, the enemy's true base, the source of the machines. Sarin spoke softly. Target in sight. His officers nodded. No one asked to turn back. They all knew the plan. Humans would finish what they started, even if none of them survived. Far behind, the machines followed. Endless ships, millions of them. The machines had understood too late. Earth's fleet wasn't running. It wasn't defending. It was attacking. Straight into the heart, in the Galactic Council chambers. Admiral Creel watched in silence. Human signals were weak. Now, their ships would not last long, but Creel knew. The humans had never planned to survive. Why? One council leader whispered.
Why throw their lives away? Creel answered quietly.
Because they created the machines. The truth was clear now. Long ago, humans built the machines as weapons. Then, they lost control. And when the machines escaped, humans did not beg for help. They hid. They built. They planned. And when the time came, they returned to end their mistake. At any cost. Inside the command ship, Admiral Sarin gave his final orders. Activate the judgment. A massive ship moved forward. It was the largest vessel in the Ghost Fleet. Bigger than a city, it carried no weapons. No engines. It was a bomb. Earth's last weapon. The ship named the Judgment. For years. It had waited now. It moved toward the machine. Core dots silently. Slowly, but unstoppable. The machines attacked it from all sides. Laser. Light. Fire missiles. Nothing stopped it. The Judgment was built for one purpose, to end everything. Admiral Sarin watched as the great ship moved. His voice was calm. Power. The core. His ship shook under enemy fire. His officers looked at him. One spoke. Admiral, Earth is calling. Sarin turned. Put it through. On the screen, a single message appeared. From Earth's hidden command, only one word. Proceed. Sarin nodded. Prepare to detonate. The Judgment moved closer. Inside, its ancient fusion core began to overload. Enough power to destroy a planet, enough power to erase the machine base, enough power to end the war. Far away, in the council chambers, Creel realized the truth. The humans were going to destroy the machine core, but their entire fleet would die. No, human ship would escape. Creel whispered softly. They're sacrificing everything. In the refugee camps, people watched silent screens. The last human ships dot the Judgment, the machine swarm, and in the center, Admiral Sarin, watching death approach without fear. A council officer looked at Creel. Why? Why not ask for help? Creel answered quietly, because no one ever helped them. The Judgment reached the core. Admiral Sarin spoke his final words. For Earth, for the promise. Detonate. The Judgment exploded. A white light filled space. The machine core shattered. Every machine ship within. Thousands of kilometers was erased. The shockwave tore through the stars. Inside his burning ship, Admiral Sarin watched the light. Then the screen went dark. Earth's fleet was gone. The Ghost Fleet was no more. Silence returned to the galaxy, in the council. No one spoke, no one cheered, no one celebrated, because the price of victory was clear. Humanity had saved the galaxy, but they had burned themselves to do it. Admiral Creel stood alone. He looked at the blank star map, and he whispered, "Thank you," across. The stars, survivors, looked at the sky. There were no more human ships, no more black fleets, just silence, but far away, in deep space. One signal blinked, a human beacon, alive, watching, waiting. Perhaps. It was not the end. The galaxy was silent. The machines were gone, their great core destroyed, their ships burned, their fleets erased. Every world, every system. Safe because Earth's fleet had paid the price. In the council chambers, leaders sat quietly. No one spoke. No one argued. They watched the holoscreens in silence. Admiral Creel stood alone. On the star map, the Ghost Fleet signal was gone. Not one human ship had returned. They're all dead. One officer whispered, but Creel shook. His head no. The others looked at him. There's one signal left. At the edge of the galaxy, far beyond the machine's last position, a single human beacon blinked, old, weak, but alive. A ship, not part of the Ghost Fleet, a silent watcher, what it was. No one knew, but Earth was not finished in the refugee camps. Survivors looked at the stars with fear and respect. Humans, the ones they betrayed, saved them all, and then disappeared. No human messages came. No ships. No demands. Just silence. Admiral Creel stood in front of the council. We must send ships. To find Earth? To thank them? To help them? But Creel shook his head. They don't want our thanks. Then what do they want? They looked at the map. They want peace, and they wanted it far away from the galaxy that once betrayed them, on distant worlds. People told stories of black ships, of silent fleets, of humans who fought like machines and vanished like ghosts. Some called them saviors, some called them monsters, but all remembered and all feared, because no one knew if humans were truly gone or just waiting far beyond the stars. Inside the last human ship, somewhere deep in the dark, someone watched a single figure, a silent captain. Not Sarin, someone older, someone colder, their face hidden, their purpose unknown. The last human ship stayed silent, watching, guarding, waiting, because the war was over, but not the danger humans had. Finished their promise, but their silence was the real warning. If another enemy came, if the galaxy made the same mistakes again, Earth would return, and next time there would be no warning, no message, only death. In the end, humanity didn't save the galaxy because they loved it. They saved it because it was their responsibility, and responsibility is heavier than fear, Admiral. Creel looked out at the stars he knew. Somewhere out there, Earth still watched. The last words of Admiral Sarin echoed in his mind. We are not your saviors. We are your shadow. The screen faded. Silence returned, and the galaxy wondered. Had they seen the last of Earth or the calm? Before the next storm, the end.